When a wounded legionnaire was told to stay down, he defied pain, death, and fate itself, choosing to rise when others would fall. In the vast fields of Germania, young legionnaire Marcus gripped his shield tightly. The night before battle, his comrades whispered of fear, but Marcus held firm. A Roman does not fear death, he fears dishonor. At dawn, the order came. Advance. Swords clashed, men fell, and amid the chaos, Marcus was struck down. His vision blurred. Pain urged him to surrender. A centurion rushed over. "Stay down, Marcus. You are wounded." But Marcus gritted his teeth. A Roman does not surrender to pain. He forced himself up, dragging his battered body back into the fight. With one final push, the legion secured victory. Bloodied but standing, Marcus faced his commander. "Today you fought not just for Rome, but for every legionnaire before you." Years later, Marcus became a legendary general, the man who never fell. His name was carved in stone, but more importantly, his spirit lived on. The lesson: pain is temporary, but strength is eternal. Stand, fight, and move forward. The Emperor and the Empty Throne. During the height of the Roman Empire, a newly crowned emperor gathered his senators and led them into the grand hall of the palace. Before them stood the imperial throne, draped in gold and silk. The emperor turned to his men and said, "This seat is not mine, nor was it my father's. It belongs to Rome. I am merely borrowing it." The senators murmured in confusion. One, bolder than the rest, scoffed, "But you are the ruler. The empire bends to your will." The emperor stepped forward and placed his hand on the throne. A true leader does not rule for himself. He serves. The moment a man believes he owns power, he is already unworthy of it. His words spread across the empire, reminding governors, generals, and even common men that power is not a gift, but a responsibility. Centuries later, Rome would rise and fall, emperors would come and go, but the lesson remained. Greatness is not about taking, it is about giving. Whether you lead a nation, a family, or yourself, remember, true strength lies in service. 3. The gladiator's choice. In the heart of Rome stood the mighty Colosseum, where thousands gathered to witness the clash of gladiators. The air was thick with the scent of sweat and blood, the roars of the crowd like thunder. One day, two men stood in the arena, one a seasoned warrior who had seen countless battles, the other a slave who had never held a sword. The fight was expected to be short. The signal was given, but instead of striking, the skilled gladiator threw down his weapon. The crowd gasped. The emperor stood, confused. "Why do you not fight?" the emperor demanded. The gladiator raised his head. "Because today I am stronger than my sword." A man is measured not by how he wields his blade, but by how he wields his honor. Silence fell over the arena, and then a roar of applause. The emperor, impressed, granted both men their freedom. For years, Romans spoke of the gladiator who won not by strength, but by virtue. His choice taught a lesson greater than any battle. True power is not just about winning, it is about knowing when to walk away with dignity. 4. The stonecutter of Rome. Deep in the heart of Rome, a humble stonecutter spent his days carving statues for the Forum. He worked tirelessly, his hands rough from years of labor. One day, a wealthy nobleman passed by and scoffed. "Why waste your life cutting stone? You will never be great." The stonecutter smiled and pointed at a statue. "See that? In 100 years, the man who ordered it will be forgotten, but this will remain." Decades passed, and the nobleman's name faded from history. But the stonecutter's work stood tall in the city, admired for generations. The lesson? Legacy is not built in a day. It is carved through years of dedication. Whatever you do it with excellence, and your work will outlive you. 5. The general's last lesson. A victorious Roman general returned to the city in a grand parade, the streets lined with thousands of cheering citizens. His name was on every tongue, his image carved into marble, his legacy secured. Beside him, a servant stood, whispering in his ear, "Memento mori." A senator, watching from the side, asked, "Why do you let a mere servant speak to you on your greatest day?" The general smiled. Because he reminds me of what is true. All glory fades, all triumphs end. A man's greatness is not in how he celebrates victory, but in how he prepares for what comes next. As years passed, the general aged, his victories mere stories, his power fading, but his wisdom endured. Long after he was gone, the lesson remained. Life is fleeting. Do not seek only victory. Seek wisdom, seek honor, and seek purpose. That is the path to immortality. The Romans built an empire that still inspires the world today. Their stories teach us about strength, discipline, and honor. Which lesson spoke to you the most? Let us know in the comments below. And if you seek wisdom from the past, subscribe for more stories of greatness, AAV, and may you walk the path of the strong.